world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even with girls. They talked dirty, hit little kids, cussed their teachers, took the Lord's name in vain. They even set fire to old Fred Shoemaker's broken down tool house.
And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 dozen donuts to the firemen, and the herdmen ate them all. And what they couldn't eat, they stuck on the front of their shirts and in their pockets.
And that's not all. They wrote this really, really dirty word on the back of Naomi Waddle's favorite pet turtle. So now Naomi can't take it to the YMCA pet show. Her mother won't let her. What was the word? And that's not all. They did it with fluorescent paint so it glows in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put tadpoles in the school drinking fountain. And Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Someone yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late.
Did she get sick?
Not right away.
And that's not all. I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claudia, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, whamming kids. So it was hard to get away. There was only one safe place. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmen there. But Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away. That's my little brother, Charlie. And that's what he said in Sunday school when the teacher asked him what his favorite part about church was. Charlie said no herdmans, and that made the teacher mad, because all the other kids had said nice things about God, Jesus, and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans! I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff's okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmans aren't there ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit by Leroy Herdman at school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst ones. Yeah, Ralph's the biggest. If he gets you, that doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast and she's mean and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm so glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
Because there'll be no arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I feel sitting there Christmas Eve if my own children weren't even in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob? Wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. Look, you know how crowded it always is. They could use my seat. I'll just stay home, relax, put on my bathrobe. Nothing different ever happens at the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie, he's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph every year just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph. Nobody wants to be in it.
Well, what are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir
And why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
because I can't sing.
Yeah, well, from what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in a manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What are you in the angel choir? Bed sheets? Oh boy, some choice of bad
to make it a lovely experience for everyone.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the Christmas pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. You know, I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes?
Well, then maybe she'll try to run the hospital then. That's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore. He said his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the first of the year.
The first of the year?
Yes.
Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the bazaar. She's in charge of the pageant. May I feel sorry for Helen. But who's going to do all of those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
I just can't, Jane. I've got company all Christmas week.
How about Grace?
Hello? Grace!
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you would call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old carols, the same old story, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I always do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them, we must choose our Mary carefully, because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know
Yes,
that,
and then I
Helen.
tell them about Joseph and how important he is, how he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. But I don't spend much time on Joseph because it is
How
always
did she
Elmer
talk on the
Hopkins.
phone?
And being the Reverend son, he knows all about Joseph. But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important
salt,
they
pepper,
are.
and a napkin.
And I tell them, there are no small parts, only small
I'm
actors.
hungry.
And you will have to keep an eye on that angel choir. Do not let them
do that
stare
to
at
you
the
day
audience.
after day.
Don't let them wear earrings and things like that.
Where's the
And
chicken?
don't let them wear chunky shoes and
Grace,
high heels.
where's the chicken?
And that baby angel choir, they will be your biggest problem, Grace. You have got to get someone to push them on. Otherwise, they get in each other's way and bend their wings.
There's somebody
Bob
at the
could
door.
do that.
I've gotta
Bob
go.
could watch the angel choir. He could watch the shepherds
Gotta
too.
go, Helen.
And that angel choir. Don't.
Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, could you get me some supper? I haven't had a decent meal in 3 days.
Heaven's sakes, it's just you.
Well, I'm getting lonely here at the table.
Well, Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
And that she told you about. There are no small parts, only small actors. Yeah, and getting someone to shove the baby angels on and getting the shepherds to shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And another thing, Grace, don't get just anyone to be baby Jesus. You have got to get a quiet baby. Matter of fact, you better get two. That way, when one gets fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. But there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, my mother didn't expect the Herdmans, That was Charlie's fault. Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
Yeah, how do you know?
Because here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? You know what? I don't care to steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want at Sunday school.
What kind of dessert?
All kinds of chocolate cake, ice cream, donuts, Big Wheels. We get desserts all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
Ice cream and donuts and cupcakes.
Who gives them to you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school. Hey, Ralph, listen to this.
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's like a play, like on TV. What's it about? It's about Jesus. Everything here is. And it's about Mary. Mostly, it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
Well, I am. Probably I am. I know the parts.
Okay, children, this looks like a good room. Come on in. Just set the benches up on the outside edges, if you would, please. Thank you. Okay, this won't take very long if we can all just settle down. Today we're going to decide who is going to play the main role in our Christmas pageant this year. But of course, everyone has an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir. Or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that even the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
Mrs. Bradley, I don't think anyone is as important as Mary is.
Well, naturally, that's what you would think, Alice. I think Jesus is most important. I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, would you mind going out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming, please? Thank you. Now, you small children will be our angels, and so you'll need to ask your mother about bed sheets. And if you have any bathrobes that you're... Well, what's the matter? Oh, well, make some room there for the Herdmans. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was, I just said, hi, Beverly. And she just left.
I see. Well, someone needs to tell Beverly about the rehearsals every Wednesday after school. Plan to be to everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. In fact, Mary and Joseph need to plan to be at absolutely every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick before she didn't even start yet.
We don't know Beverly got sick. Oh, Beverly, are you okay? Just sit. Maybe not. Let's put you right okay? Let's put you right here, dear. Oh my. All right. Let's think for a minute about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was kind and gentle and quiet. So the girl who plays that part needs to try to be that kind of person. Any volunteers for that part? Oh, Emma Jean, do you have a question?
No! I want to be Mary! And Ralph, over there, he wants to be Joseph!
Yeah, right. Oh, well, okay then. Let me just write these names down and we'll just decide who it will be. be Joseph. Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Okay, any of you shepherds, any volunteers, just raise your hands. All right, Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. And Imogene, she's volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Anybody else? Any other names I can add to my list? Doris? Maxine? Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
Be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
The wise men are usually boys. But of course they don't have to be.
I want to be a wise man. Me too. Claudia, do you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand. What's a wise man?
Raise your hand.
What's got to be? Some angel. Tell me that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who delivers the good news to the shepherds. Oh, good. We do have some volunteers. David, did you want to be a wise man?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a wise man. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. Mary doesn't want me to be a shepherd either.
Why not?
I don't know, but she just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I'm not going to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. All right. Boys and girls, that's enough. You can go home. I'll see you Wednesday, though. Every one of you at 6:30. Alice, what in the world is the matter with you? Why didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know. Bradley.
I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, if you dare raise your hand or open your mouth, you wish you didn't. She said she was going to be married in the pageant. And I said, I'm always married in the Christmas pageant. And she said, fine, go ahead. Then by next spring, when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick pussy willows so far down your ear that no one can reach it. And it'll sprout and grow. And you'll have to live the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just wait and see. They'll do something so terrible and ruin the whole pageant, and it's all your mother's fault. Come on, Maxine.
Jane, Edna McCarthy, did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the six of them all end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Sobran, I just heard that Imogene was going to be married in the Christmas pageant. And I... Is that a fact, all six of them? Oh, Vera, I live next door to that outfit and I'd rather live next to the zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins. Well, I'm shut in and he wasn't visiting me. What's the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away? Told them to go home? I feel responsible. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, I'm on your side. Now the car's out this way.
Helen Armstrong isn't the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best I could under the circumstances, and now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. I don't care, they're the only ones that raised their hands. Nobody else did.
That's good.
And you're going to help me.
Just help me.
Yes! You have to go! and the shepherds will come in, and they'll gather around the manger.
Where did all the shepherds come from anyway? What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus!
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel? Shut up, Polly! Everybody shut up! I want to hear her! Go back to the beginning!
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is, so I better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is. And they've never been to church in their whole life. Till your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now, there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant? She was pregnant.
Okay, that's enough. We all know Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary's pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary's pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus.
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was wrong with Joseph, her being pregnant and everything? What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, there wasn't a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby with no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you used something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it because she didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
That was smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
Inside there. It's actually wrapped in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to take their babies and wrap them up in large pieces of material to keep them nice and cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child's welfare? The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory
What? Black night. With horrible vengeance.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The Mighty Marvel in Amazing Comics. Out of the Black Knight. With horrible vengeance. The Mighty Marvel.
It's the angel of the Lord who delivers the news to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the Black Knight, right?
Well, in a way. Now, when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What's that?
Well, they were special things, spices, precious oils.
Oil? What kind of a gift is oil? They give better gifts. We give better gifts from the welfare. Were they the welfare, the wise men?
No, they were kings.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. Their kings and get the baby out of the barn and show the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, and Herod was the main king. He wanted to find Jesus and have him killed.
My gosh, he just go for it. They're going to kill a baby.
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and he isn't even in the play? Well, somebody ought to be Herod. Charlie! You be Herod. And they say, go kill the baby. We say, okay, because he's the king and all. But then don't do it. We go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No! Joseph gets his shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. See? They're gonna ruin it. Herod's gonna have baby and they're gonna get killed.
Forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
And then I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Well, somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out the innkeeper.
I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just stay in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd go kick somebody out. I would say, I've got the baby here and it's the middle of winter, so either move out or get out. Well, I'd go after Herod. I would send the angel after her. She could just point her magic fingers in her big pile of ashes.
Yeah, exactly. What's the name of the play? She never said. Christmas pageant. That's no name. That's what it is. I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem. Yeah! Revenge at Bethlehem? The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. Herod was the one they wanted to gang up on, not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum. But Mrs. Slocum said she would never let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have the baby Jesus. And that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch at the baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
No, it is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogen Herdman curses and swears all the time. Ralph Herdman talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 30 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every single time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is filled with blue smoke. And there's Imogene Herdman sitting there in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother, and Reverend Hopkins, and the Ladies' Aid Society, and whoever else wants to read it once the whole pageant turns out to be a big mess.
All right, everyone, let's get quiet. Beth, Alice, come back. We need to get started. This is our last rehearsal. And so we're going to do...
Oh, hi, Grace. I just wanted to let you know we're all back in the kitchen making apple sauce. We'll try not to bother you.
Oh, I guess this is your dress rehearsal. Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't your niece just have a new baby not too long ago?
Yes,
A little girl?
5 weeks old.
I wonder what it would be like if I were to call your niece and ask if we could borrow her.
Oh, no, Grace. I'm sorry. I can make up some lie and tell you that she's sick or cranky or something. But the truth is, she's absolutely healthy, happy, and beautiful. So we certainly are going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman, because we all want her to stay that way.
Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can use my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
He's not ill, he's 4 years old, but his stuff will show you, so he can probably scratch up.
I didn't get the baby.
How are you going to do that?
Well, there's always 2 or 3 carriages in front of the supermarket. I can get one of those.
You can't just run off with somebody else's baby. We won't worry about the baby. Let's just use the doll.
Yeah, doll's better anyway. Doll can't...
Imogene, you know, Mary didn't wear earrings.
I just got my ears pierced, so I have to keep something in them. If I don't, they will grow together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did your doctor tell you to do?
What, doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys! I bet she did it with an ice pick, and that Imogene's ears were turned black and fall off.
Well, we'll find something smaller. Is that what you're going to wear? Is that your costume? Oh, you were all supposed to wear your costumes today.
I can't find my hair and my knees all red. My mother doesn't have any white shoes. Could I wear one with balloons on it?
We'll find you a white sheet.
I haven't got a costume. I've never been a shepherd before.
You have to wear your father's bathrobe.
That's what I have to do. He doesn't have a bathrobe.
And what does he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
Okay, just pretend you're wearing your costume.
Are you going to the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we'll just practice the entrances. So if you'll go where you're supposed to be, take the benches and the chairs with you, please. And we'll start with the shepherd. Maxine, will you just say your last few words, please?
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord. Suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here. Hey, don't give it back.
No, no, no. You don't say anything. Mary doesn't say anything. Mary doesn't make a lovely picture for us to look at. Always thinks about Christmas and wooden things.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel comes up and tells me what to name the baby. I would have named him Bill. What a terrible thing to say.
There are angels all over the place. Which one was it? Was it Gladys? Gladys delivers the news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child is born. Not unto them, unto me. I'm the one who had the baby.
No, no, no. That just means Jesus belongs to everybody. Unto all of us the child is born.
Why did the angel let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Walk up and say, name him Jesus.
Yeah.
I know what the angel said. The angel said his name should be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. My gosh, he'd never get out of first grade if he had to write all that.
Hey! 5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes, everybody.
We never did start over. We never did run through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned to 15 minutes, and Imogen Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And when Mrs. McCarthy walked in and saw the smoke, she called the fire department, and they came right away. Fire! Fire! They cleared everyone out of the building and dragged the fire hose through the whole church, looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchens, the applesauce cake had all burned up. Of course, all the ladies were mad, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad. And my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department over a little smoke?
Oh, it wasn't a little smoke. It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. Now look, the church is full of firemen. The streets are full of baby angels crying. The shepherds climbing all over the fire trucks. Half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to see cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Jesus is the most Mary is not the
We have an audience. We're going to have a 10-minute intermission.
Down this hall is the restrooms. The first on the right is the women's and the second is the men's.
Down this hall and to your left, you'll find a snack bar where you can get drinks and candy. But make sure you go through this hallway instead of that one, or else the herdmen will get you. Mother was mad, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't think anyone would come. I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. That night, on Christmas Eve, the church was jammed full. Everybody came to see what the herdmen would do.
Rachel, there's the light. Good, come on in. Watch
I
your
can't
step.
even see where I'm going. Oh. I don't know what on earth you plan to do with this thing.
Well, I thought it looked like a palm tree. But I can see now it doesn't. You know, I don't know what in the world's going to happen tonight. I have no idea. We still haven't made it through the whole thing. And the herdmans, they still think it's some kind of spy story. This could be the only pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
Every kid in the world is downstairs putting on bathrobes and things.
Well, where are our kids?
We're here.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're here, but it's late. You need to get your costumes on.
It's just going to be awful, you know. They look like trick or treat or something. All dirty and fastened up with safety pins. Wearing their little sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. Well, sort of. They were almost refugees, Mary and Joseph. They were a long way from home. They didn't have a place to stay. They didn't know anybody. They probably were cold, tired, and hungry. And messy.
I don't know about tired and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh, dear. Maybe
I think you worry too much. Now, I'm going to push the baby angels on stage, and I'm going to hand out shepherd's crooks and push them on stage. Why do I do all that?
just follow the script.
Ah, yes. Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. It doesn't seem to say here where the fire engines come on. Just kidding. It's fine.
Okay, everyone come on stage. Beth, Alice, would you stay down by the baby angel so you can help them, please? Let me see what you're wearing. Gladys, where's your halo?
There it is. Listen, I think I have to say something besides the baby king. Why are they all get up the chair for some baby dinner? No. I have to tell them it's Jesus, and I have to tell them where he is.
No, Gladys, you tell them, unto you a child is born. And that's all you tell them. Now, everybody, let's just go backstage. Try to be quiet while the people are coming. And good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
I know that, Alice. That's just a theatrical term. It doesn't mean really break a leg. Yours or anyone else's. Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
Going
remarkable thing.
Angels be heard and high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains every cry, echoing their joyous strain. In excelsis When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. We bring you the glorious star, bearing gifts which houses of God. Field and mountain, moor and mountain, echoing on the star. Oh, star of light, star of light, star of light, oh, beauty bright, westward leading, silver city, guide us to thy perfect light. Hey, look, Uncle, too. And what that Leroy's got, it's a ham. A ham? I'll bet they stole it. No, I think it's from their welfare basket. You mean it's their own ham? They must hate ham. So what? Even if they do hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their entire lives. Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Christmas pageant ever. And I'm not sure why, but I think it was them. Could it be?
Oh, I always get with you about the pageant. It must be the children and the carols and all. But you're right. This was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was different.
Oh, like that. Had lots of spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I just find grace and tell her.
I just wish now I let him be Jesus and
And who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, Oh, I don't think so, Mama. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the Christmas pageant was about Jesus, but that was only part of it. It was about a baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys. He's in the barn, go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to wander all around the countryside. But for Imogene, I think it was different. For her, it was all wonder and mystery, as if she had just caught on to what Christmas is really about. After it was over, we had a party in the basement. But the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink any cocoa. They didn't run off with all the cookies. They didn't even take their candy canes.
Well, I guess that's about it. Are any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone. You know you have your bathrobe on. You're not going to wear that, are you?
Why not? Maybe someone will mistake me for being in this Christmas pageant. I wouldn't mind being mistaken for a shepherd in this year's pageant.
Oh, yes, you would. Maybe just because I was a shepherd. Can I take this ham?
This is the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket. They wouldn't take it back. Leroy said it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham. You and Alice Wendelkin.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer, so they'll go off at midnight.
It's almost midnight now. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.